We're joined now by Craig Button. And Craig, the Vancouver Canucks, they're dead last in the NHL right now. So is it time to seriously consider trading Quinn Hughes, assuming that the earlier you deal him, the more the Canucks could get back?
Well, I mean, we're now talking about one of the great players in the National Hockey League, one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League, a difference maker in the National Hockey League. So we know there's uncertainty around Quinn Hughes about, is he going to be a long-term Canuck? But the Canucks find themselves in a very different place right now. And even with Quinn Hughes, they're at the bottom of the league, as you point out, Sarah. So when you have Quinn Hughes on your team, there's not going to be any lack of calls coming from other managers. In fact, those calls should come in on a daily basis. Hey, listen, we can help you out. We're looking at Quinn Hughes. We'll make you a good offer on Quinn Hughes. And I think the Vancouver Canucks absolutely have to listen. You got a young player who can control the game in so many different ways. And as I just mentioned, he's a huge difference maker. So if you're a team not named the Vancouver Canucks, you need to be calling on a regular basis. And if you're the Vancouver Canucks, you have to listen seriously. This is now a team that has to start setting its sights on the future. And the future isn't about March. It's not about the playoffs. It's about what are we going to do to make our team better. So when I look at Quinn Hughes, who's a huge player, a superstar in the league, yeah, that's a huge deal. That's a big deal. But it's also a deal that can net the Vancouver Canucks something really, really significant. And I think that where the Vancouver Canucks currently find themselves in the standings, to not look at that, to not consider it, to not open your minds to it, you absolutely have to do it. Could the return be significant if it's done sooner rather than later? I don't think there's any doubt that the return should be huge because we're talking about Quinn Hughes. So whether you do it sooner or whether you do it later, I think that the return would be big for Quinn Hughes. And for the Vancouver Canucks, you got to find that right point where you can get the best deal.
Okay, so let's say they do get a huge deal for Quinn Hughes. Beyond that, are there other changes you would be considering with the Canucks?
I think, Sarah, the biggest thing for the Vancouver Canucks is to stand up and stare reality in the mirror. It's going to reflect back on you, and the reality for the Vancouver Canucks is we're not a contending team. We're not close to being a contending team. What do we have to do to be a contending team? And now that becomes open to many considerations. And it's not about, okay, we have a pending unrestricted free agent in Kiefer Sherwood. Okay, we have some veteran players that other teams would be looking at. It's about saying, what is our goal? What is our objective? What are we going to set our sights on for us to become a contending team? So I think you have to open that up for discussion internally and then start to explore what possibilities exist outside your organization. Because if you don't do that, you're just going to wallow in mediocrity continuously. And the Vancouver Canucks don't want that. And I think that staring that reality as it looks right back at you, and it's not going to kid you, you see exactly where you're at. That's where they have to find themselves. That's where they have to look to be much, much better.
Yeah, mediocrity not really an option in the NHL. And according to Money Puck, who crunches the numbers, comes up with all the NHL percentages, the Canucks have the second worst chance of making the playoffs and the second best chance of landing the first overall pick in the draft. The only other team below them is the Nashville Predators.